Through this 5-part series, we are going to talk about how water is essential for your healing and learn whether your water is either killing you slowly or healing you. Hi, this is Zia and this is
Kimmana, and welcome to Holistic Nomads TV,
where ancient wisdom and modern science can help you to have more clarity and energy in your life. Hi, welcome to the 5th part of the 5 online class series about the healing power of water. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, in these 5 videos, we are going to talk about how you can choose the water filter that is right for you. So we are going to review the 5 different types of water filtration system.
The 5 most common ones for home use.
Yes. If you haven't watched the previous 4 episodes, go check out the previous 4 because we already talked about why drinking water is important. And on the very recent episode from last week, we talked about the budget home solution to make your water safer and taste better. So the first one, let's get into it, is something called distillers. What is distillers?
A water distiller is basically putting water in a container and then boiling it. And then as it boils, the water starts to evaporate and it comes out the top and gets caught in another container. So we're purifying the water rather than filtering it, we're purifying it by evaporation. And although this method is great to kill off all bacteria and generally heavy metals will stay inside the first container, they won't evaporate so much of the heavy metals, it can really sort of kill the life energy of the water. And it puts a lot of the electromagnetic type energies into the water because we're usually using those to heat and boil. The water generally ends up very closely packed together, the molecules at the end. It doesn't have so much of a nice electrical charge to keep the water separated and full-bodied. So it doesn't go into your body and penetrate as easily as some of the other filter options available. And it can also leave quite a bit of residue inside the original container. So difficult to clean a proper water distiller.
Yeah. Talking about boiling in Indonesia, or at least my family, because it's different to what's in Australia or in the States or in many countries in Europe where you can just drink right from the tap water. In Indonesia, you don't want to do that because of the lead problem. So my dad he still do it until now, to boil the water. What's the difference between boiling that system until it's kind of like 100 degrees and this kind of boiling system?
If you're just boiling it till it's 100 degrees, you're just killing off the bacteria that's inside the water. But there's many other things that could be in the water, and especially in third world countries, or really any country of the world where there is industry that surrounds you, where the water may be contaminated with heavy metals, which is starting to become a lot of our water all around the world. We've done so much industry work and pulling these heavy metals out of the earth and using them in batteries and many other products that now those heavy metals are all over the world. And if we just boil it, those heavy metals may remain in the water. If there's been a large leakage of heavy metals into the water, then that's really toxic. The body can handle it for a period of time, but heavy metals are slow to move out of the system, particularly things like lead and mercury and cadmium. So if they are in the water, you boil it, they're still in the water at the end. I would not recommend drinking boiled water from the tap if you are in an area where it could be contaminated. In some places in the world it's tested more regularly, such as Australia. There's less chance of heavy metals, so boiling the water will also take a little bit of the chlorine out. Chlorine will evaporate off, so boiling it, you'll have less chlorine in the water. That could be beneficial in Australia. Again though, boiling the water, if we do it as a regular practice to a lot, it will make all of the molecules get really close together in the water molecules, and they won't necessarily go into your body as easily.
Probably that's why the taste is also different, and like the alkaline water that we have on our water system here that we can that we will share later. If I come home and I drink that kind of water, it just tastes weird.
It does taste weird, especially if your heating element, this is a really important one for kettles, choose a kettle where the heating element is not inside the water. So where the heating element is underneath and there's like a stainless steel layer between the heating element and the water. So where the heating element is inside the water, it often gives much more of that metallic taste to it.
Next one, number 2, is jug filters.
Jug filters. So jug filters, the big pro is that they're very inexpensive. They're small, you can put them inside the fridge, you can get them from so many different places. So they're basically water in a top layer and it will drip through to water in a bottom layer. The main thing that they're doing is taking out the unfavorable tastes inside the water. So if something doesn't taste so great in the water, it'll take that out. The challenge is that most of the commercial ones on the market won't take out the heavy metals, won't take out many pathogens like E. coli. It's very common in places like Indonesia, India, and large parts of the world. E. coli will be present still after it's gone through one of those filters. They can reduce chlorine, and depending on the type, some of them can also reduce heavy metals and limescale, but it'll be a small amount of that it moves through. So main challenges there, fluoride, pathogens, they may still be present in there, and they can be a little bit slow because they're dripping through. The faster they are, there's a good chance they're not taking out as much. The slower they are, they're taking out more, and you might just need to wait for the process.
I also make a joke with you about my belly, the Indonesian belly that is stronger, because I grew up with probably drinking, adjust to E. coli and so many things. So if, many of my foreign friends, including you, come here and you get tummy ache, and I'm like, what's wrong? It's all good. It's okay, toughen up. Now. Everything has both good and bad side. Next one. Electronic ioniser.
So an electronic ioniser is using an electrical conductance with the water to attract the water that has minerals to it, and the alkaline minerals, and allow the acid water to go out in a different direction. So this means that we're able to create alkaline, energized water on one side. So these can be quite a good health option to work with. And they'll create, generally if it's a good system, it'll create a really good quality water on one side. This can be ionized, alkalized, still full of minerals. The challenge with them is that they're only really as good as what your source water was. They're using the minerals and the things that were inside the source water and attracting the best of that source water to one side and the more challenging parts of that source water to another side. There won't be any wastage if you use the acid water that's coming out the other side. You can use it for cleaning, bathing, different things. But if you're just putting the acid water down the sink, then one of the cons is that you are wasting some degree of water within the system. These can be very expensive. They are one of the more expensive water filter systems because they're using electricity to do that. They'll plug into the power. There's a lot more complex parts inside them. They're more expensive to change the filters and those things as well.
What about those already labeled and bottled ionized
alkalized and ionized water in a bottle.
Well, that means because it's already filtered quite a while and it's already transported and stuff like that, would it actually be less alkaline? Is that
with an electrically alkalized system?
That's what I mean.
It tends to reduce its ORP, its oxygen radical protection, over a period of time quicker than if it was remineralized naturally through a sediment layer. So I've done some tests comparing that with sediment layer systems like the UltraStream and systems like the Jupiter Melody, and the Jupiter Melody does it electrically, and we've put the glasses of water and we've tested alkalinity each hour, and we've shown that the electrically ionized one drops quicker. So we would see that within bottled water or any of those sources. Yeah.
So which is the one that is very common, it's called Kangen, or in Indonesia we call it Kangen?
Yeah, Kangen's quite popular around the world. It's an electrically alkalized system. Yeah.
Great. Next one is reverse osmosis.
So reverse osmosis uses pressure, really strong pressure, and pushes the water through a membrane that water would not usually go through. Usually osmosis, natural pressure of the water, would come the other direction. So it pushes it, reverse osmosis, through this membrane, and it takes out most of the nasties. It's one of the strongest systems to take out impurities. So if you know that you're in an area where the pipes are really old, where there could be quite a few industrial contaminants, you're in an old city or a city where you know that pollution may be there, heavy metals, these things, then this is the most ideal system to take everything out. It really purifies. Its challenges are that it
takes everything out.
It takes everything out, and it wastes a lot of water. It ends up putting a lot of wastewater to the side as well. So if you're in an area that water is a challenge, then you really don't want to waste a lot of water, Australia being one of those places. And also because it takes everything out, it doesn't have the minerals and the things that would alkalize the body. It tends to create a very flat water, not a full-bodied water. The molecules end up very tightly packed together, more difficult to absorb. We can, however, use different systems together here. We can use the reverse osmosis first and take out everything, and then we can use a cartridge after that's like a sediment layer system to remineralize and put things back in. My favorite for that is called the alkaliner.
Yeah, which goes to our fifth one, is called the sedimentation layers.
So if you already have the reverse osmosis, just put the alkaliner. If you don't, I'd go straight for a sediment layer system in the beginning. I think they're some of the best systems because they can take out a lot of the negative things that happen inside water just by using normal tap pressure from your house. They can then filter through in different layers, different sediment layers, and they also remineralize and put things back in. Depending on the system, they may also go through layers of different crystals or other things that electrically affect the water that give it more of a full-bodied taste and feel inside the body. So you can feel that it's more separated, it's more full body, it's not flat in its texture. So alkalizing, ionizing, very high ORP. Now this all depends on the type of sediment. If it's just charcoal and ceramic, it's mainly just going to be taking things out. What sort of sediments are they using? So the UltraStream, as an example, has I think 7 to 9 different sediment layers that it moves through. Some take things out, some put things in, some are magnets attracting energies towards them. So it depends on the sediments, how effective it is and what it's taking out and putting in. The UltraStream can take out more than 70% of fluoride as well. Fluoride's a very small molecule that gets through a lot of filters quite easily. It'll take out chlorine too, and you can use it in many places around the world. The other big plus of these systems is that they're inexpensive compared to the electrically alkalized system or a reverse osmosis system, and the cartridges last from 6 months to a year to be replaced.
So this water filter, the sedimentation layers, specifically for UltraStream, the one that you would recommend people, would be suitable to be used in any kind of like circumstances. What I mean by that is, even though, let's say in Switzerland, where water is actually already great, will it still be beneficial compared to using it in Indonesia?
Water is great in Switzerland because it's coming from the mountains, yet within every water source there's an ideal ratio of the minerals that are inside, and in Switzerland especially there's a very high ratio of dissolved minerals and deposits. Some people can handle that much better than others, but really 50 to 100 parts per million is the ideal ratio where everyone can really reap the benefits. And some mountain waters in Switzerland have got much higher than that amount. Great for small amounts of drinking, but if it's your water source regularly, that might over-mineralize the body, create calcium deposits and challenges inside the system. So yes, it can benefit everyone, no matter where you are in the world, because it's going to take out the excess minerals and put in the amount that is really ideal for the general population. And if someone's a sensitive individual that doesn't move those minerals through their body, it will prevent them from creating those mineral imbalances that are much more likely as we age.
Yeah. Oh, I can speak from experience that the taste that comes out from this ultra-stream sedimentation layer filtration system tastes so different. It is one of the things that makes me feel hesitant to go out to the world and leave my home because of this water. I mean, in the past I have really bad, until now, I still have a bad tendency to drink. Yeah. But you know, especially if I go to the city, the water is not tasty. So then I don't have motivation to drink. Now the water is not tasty and it just feels so dead. I'm not sure how to describe it. It just feels like dead water basically. Yeah. So it's so interesting how much at the beginning, you know, growing up with just drinking water that is just boiled. I don't know what's the difference. Like, of course, water, you know, like this. And then I switch, since I'm with you, switch to the sedimentation layers filtration system. And it is so much different and I can feel it in my body. I can, you know, my body is more sensitive and can perceive more on the little details that my body trying to tell me. Yeah.
So the big summary is, I personally recommend the sedimentation layer filters, and the main one for check is it doesn't have to be the ultra stream. Check whether or not it remineralizes. Check whether or not it uses things like tourmaline crystals in there that give it that full-bodied feeling, that increase its electrical charge and make it easier to absorb. Check whether or not it has a high hydrogen potential that it's adding to the water, which increases its ability to prevent aging. I've done lots of research. The UltraStream so far is the one that I think is the best value for money that covers all of those things.
Anything else you would like to add?
That's it for today. Happy to share with you all. Look forward to sharing with you again soon.
Thank you. Now, theory without practice is wasteful because hearing leads to forgetting, teaching leads to remembering, and applying leads to mastering. That's why we will encourage you to leave a comment below and share one learning insight from this video. Also, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you will be the first to hear about our future educational videos. And for more resources on health and healing, check out our website holisticnomads.com. There you will find articles, quizzes on Ayurveda, loads of free resources, and of course, our future educational events and courses. Thank you so much for watching. We hope it's been beneficial for you. Hope to see you next week. Bye! Hi, welcome back. No, that's it. Hi!